There we go. And thank you. It's been one of those days. I don't have a video to play today because I haven't had time. Um, so, but we have a really great lineup today. Um, One person had to drop out, but that happens. So we're still gonna have a great show. And to start us off, we have a very good friend, very entertaining musician, Mr. Lee Jermaine. There we go. Oh, yep, there we go. Mr. Lee Jermaine.
There we go. I unmuted myself and everything. Okay, we're going to do some things a little bit different this evening. Well, not that different. We're all magicians. I've been doing some research recently of unexplainable incidents that occur around the world. And I found something very interesting that actually takes place in England. And we'll get to that in a moment. Before I do that, I'm going to have somebody, let me change my screen here for, there we go. I'm going to have somebody select a card. Now, let's see, it doesn't matter who it is, it could be, I'll tell you what, we're going to use, let me mix these a little bit first, and then we'll get into this. And I'll have Patrick, I'll have you help me. All I want you to do is, as I go through the deck, just tell me when to stop.
Okay.
Now let me cut these cards. Okay. Just say stop at any time. Whoop.
Stop.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay, now we don't want to use that 7 because we can see that. It's pretty obvious. We're going to use the top card on this half. And we're just going to lay that aside for the time being because we don't need it right now. We'll get to that in a second. Let me get back to my story about the oddities and things that I've discovered. And the one that appeals to me the most and I like the most is the one that occurs in England. Apparently, there's a pub in Salisbury, and I believe Kevin can back me up on this. I know everything I'm going to tell you is on Google. There's a pub in Salisbury, and it's called the Venison Haunch, or the Haunch of Venison, I think is what it's called. And it's been around since 1320. Now, later on in years, a little later than that, and I'm talking 1700s, they were, a group of people were playing cards. They were playing a game called whist, because poker had not been invented yet. And what happened was somebody tried to sneak a card into the game. And they became very, very upset over this. And they grabbed him as a group, put him on the table, and actually took a meat cleaver and cut his hand off and threw his hand in the fire. Well, sometime later, because he was caught cheating, they were remodeling the place. I think it was, well, I'll tell you what, just for the heck of it, the card they had discovered this guy was cheating with, was trying to sneak into the deck, was the King of Hearts. Now, Patrick, you chose a card a little while ago. I don't know what it is yet. We're going to find out right now. But, oh, it is the King of Hearts. Well, now, I don't know whether you're related to that card sheet or not, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to take your card and we're going to place it into one of these envelopes, like right there, so you can see that going in. And we're going to remove that envelope just like that. Lay these right here. I'm going to put S. Patrick on here, so we'll know that's yours. I'll just put S. Pat for the time being. And we'll let that lay right there in plain view. That's perfect. And I will go on with my story. Apparently, they were remodeling this pub a few years later, and they discovered a hidden fireplace in one of the walls. And in that fireplace was actually a petrified hand that was holding a playing card, and it was holding that King of Hearts. Now, we assume this was all haunted because the people that owned the pub took that card and hand and encased it in a black box and would have it on display right there in the pub. Well, every couple of years, every 3-4 years, somebody would steal that black box. And inevitably, they would always bring it back within a couple of weeks. And we don't know whether they brought it back because it was haunted and they didn't feel comfortable having it, because nobody ever admitted to stealing it or anything else. But we do know that it did come back, and it does come back, and as far as I know, it may still be on display. Perhaps Kevin or one of the guys from that part of the world could tell us. But if we take the envelope that you placed your card in, Patrick, what we can't explain is, even though that envelope's been laying here for the whole time, and we saw everything that happened, that card aged 300 years just while it was laying there in the envelope. So we got to believe that you may be related to that card cheat from years ago, and this is kind of a revenge for what you did. Okay, thank you. That's one thing, and since we have a little bit of time, I want to try something else. Thank you. I'm going to try something else here. I actually believe it. Well, yeah, I'm sure you'll believe it. I have a monitor running, and I'm trying to read a script as I go, and I'm thinking about stopping that right now. Now, I know as magicians, we're familiar with voodoo, and which is a religion based on voodoo, and it is believed, it's a religion like where we've all heard the thing. Now, Tommy, am I spotlighted or are you spotlighted? Because I seem to be, you're on the main screen.
I think you are, but hang on.
Okay, who do you see, Tommy or me?
I can see you, Lee.
There we go.
I'm
There
sorry,
we
my
go.
bad.
Okay.
My
Okay.
bad.
So we're getting back to this voodoo thing. It's a thing where people believe that if you stick a pin in a certain part of a effigy of an individual, wherever you stick that pin, they will have a problem with. We're gonna try something. Right? And they claim that there's thousands of people that have this power, this voodoo power, walking the face of the earth today, and they don't even know it because it's laying latent in their person. And we're going to find out tonight if anybody there has latent tendencies. I mean, about voodoo. We're going to take these cards. I have 6 cards here. We're going to lay them out. And that's going to be the head. And you can tell the head because there's the 2 eyes. That's going to be the body. That's going to be the right arm. That's going to be the left arm. That's going to be the right leg, and that's going to be the left leg. And I guess you can see where that would kind of represent a person with the head and the arms and the legs. Tommy, what I'd like you to do is just tell me which one of these cards you want to put your finger on, whether it's the head, the torso, the right arm, the right leg, the left arm, or the left leg. Which one would you like to touch?
The head.
The head? Okay. Well, since you're not here to touch it, we're going to use we'll use that to hold that head in place.
Okay.
Now, excuse me. You could have taken the left arm. You could have taken the right arm. You could have taken the left leg, you could have taken the right leg, or you could have taken the body. But you chose to take the head, which is right there. Now, if we look at these, we notice We're going to find out whether you may be one of those people that has that voodoo instinct in your body. Because if we look at these, we see they both say safe. And they both say safe. Yep. And that's safe. So that means the only thing left is pain, and that shows me that you must have that voodoo, and I'm glad you weren't thinking about anybody in particular. I'm done. Thank you very much. Darn. Anyway, I'm glad we're all magicians.
That was
All right.
great. It was great. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. That was really good. Our next performer is all the way from California and a very good friend, a bizarre magician, if you will. But I love his style. Please help me welcome my friend Charles Schneider.
Oh. Sometimes the blues can be magic, you know? And I don't know why. I was just feeling it right now, like a universal kind of just one more. All right, I think it's time for this harmonica to go. Because it's time to start our magic show. Actually, the reason I'm using a harmonica is because it's the instrument I love most, but it's also very similar to a panpipe. We're talking about the goat god, the god which lent his name to the word panic, as well as Pan American Airlines and Pan. Pan means all. For that goat god encompassed everything in the planet. Of course, at some point, people noticed he had, convenient ears and horns. Let's turn him into something else. But that's another story, and I don't have time for that right now. Nonetheless, I can't not sense a waning of certain gods, and perhaps an awakening in the distant hills we know of sleeping gods. In fact, that's the first thing I thought I would do today. I very much identify with the Lord of the Grape. Say hello, everybody, to the great god Pan.
Hello, Pan.
And if you haven't read the horror story by the Welsh master Arthur Machen from the decadent 1890s, do yourself a favor. Check out Arthur Machen. I didn't say I wasn't going to educate you. Pan. Although we are approaching, and I was so cold last night. I don't know about you, but I was pretty freezing. And yet, though we approach winter, let us evoke the realization that in winter is the seed of something new, a time of decay and rot. And yet, Even the colors of dying leaves are so beautiful. And I have so many wands. I even consider my paintbrushes to be magic wands, don't you? And oh, look, I have so many magic wands. I want to show you something. With the help of this great god. Oh, he disappeared. It seems he's jumped back into the very oak itself. Which wand should I don't. You know what? I'm going to use I'm going to use one of the more boring. This is something very strange. I hope my friends out there like things that are a little strange. Not too strange, just strange enough. Of course, I was born strange. I've been spending the rest of my life working my way, crawling back to some sense of normality. And I don't like what I see, so I'm happy in this world. Thank you very much. Now, help me, my friend. I'm going to say certain words now, and it would be perhaps best for all of you to don't write them down or pay too close attention, because you really won't want to repeat these unless you were properly trained. You don't want a hippopotamus sprouting fungus that's luminescent, appearing on the edge of your bed, or just so. Let me take care of my business here. And huh? Shut up. Huh? Huh? Yes. Back to the primordial forest primeval, the wand of man. Oh. Becomes. And that is a little bit of transformation, the help of the great god. Now, let us do one more bit of magic. And this is true magic. I have studied, of course, magic of all sorts for about 60 years. And I've always been fascinated by what is known as automatic writing or spirit writing, automatic drawing, and in which the practitioner falls into a trance state and is then able to generate phantom texts or revelations. And to prove the authenticity, truly, this is serious, people. It might take a lot out of me. I'm going to have to sleep the rest of the day after what's about to occur. Whether it works or not, it's an experiment. So go with me, join with me, be open to the possibility. I'm going to, of course, need to, I'm going to have a playing card selected, and it's so tedious in a way. I actually do not have a deck of my own. I thought I could really randomly generate a card by getting one of my magician friends to help me. We'll get a member of the audience to pick a card. Okay, so could Kevin, good old Kevin, I'll bet you have a deck of cards on you, Kevin.
Would I have a deck of cards? Yeah, I've got it. Hang on.
And Kevin, we haven't really discussed anything, have we, at all? Except the weather, I suppose.
Yes.
Kevin, could we just randomly, what I'm going to need to do is randomly select a member of our beloved audience.
I assume you want me to take the cards out of the box.
I would like you to take the cards out of the box. We're going to select a member of our audience, and I am going to do this. Now, I know it looks a bit fanciful, but I truly swear upon the graves of my ancestors, anyone I've ever held dear in my heart, I cannot see a thing. And please, no verbal clues. Kevin, if we could get any member of our audience to freely select a card, and then we must be sure that everybody sees it.
Yeah.
And you tell me when that is finished.
Just trying to think of the best way to do this. I wasn't prepared for this, Charles. Thank you for surprising me with this. Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry. I feel guilty.
That's all right.
I just want to be sure that I figure if a guy across the ocean's supreme, it's going to be really weird. And I just really want a truly impossible selection. And then I will evoke the gods to help me search the heavens for that card. It's okay.
So
here.
Shall I just get Ella to choose a card?
That would be lovely.
Okay,
That would
probably the best way, Ella, is just to say, I'll just riffle through and you just say stop.
I am blinded.
Stop.
You're going to say stop, Ella? Okay. Okay.
I never wanted to stop, though. I never wanted to stop.
Okay, so I assume Charles wants you to remember that and not say what it is.
Yeah, do not.
You have no instructions here.
Whatever you do, please do not utter the name of it.
Oh, you have to show it to me again. I didn't see.
Yeah, and not only that, Kevin, hold it up an extra 5 seconds so everybody can really let that sink into their brain pads, okay?
Okay.
I mean, hold that card up so it can burn into everybody's memory, except for mine, because I can't see a thing. Does everybody have it now?
Yep, I think they probably have.
May I take this thing off my, it's popping my eyes out. Ouch. I really do. I always commit to whatever I'm doing in life, I just go for it. So that means like make the make it extra tight around my eyeballs. Oh, well, you got to make it real. Thank you so much for helping me today. I really appreciate you, Ella.
Oh, I appreciate you too, and I love that harmonica.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've played it for over 50 years, but in private, like I was like ashamed or shy for some reason to just bear, to do it. But recently I realized, oh, you know what? It makes people smile when I play that thing. So,
Very nice.
Okay, Ella, this is cool now. Great. Now that I've met you, I think we'll use you to help me find the card that is in your mind, correct? That card. Whoa, and what a mind it is. I'm going to show you something. Behind this blue silk, I have a canvas. It is, except for a little charcoal on it, it's a perfectly blank art canvas. And besides liking magic, and I make movies and all, I like gardening a lot.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, when I moved to Brooklyn, I don't live there anymore, but I about 8 years ago spent some time in Brooklyn. Second day, I went to a hardware store, put up some raised beds, and said to all my friends, I'm going to have kale in Brooklyn in January. And they said, you're insane. But I did it. I got those plastic storage bins, and but that's another story.
Wow.
It was magic, and I have a green thumb wherever I go. So my hair is getting crazier, and so is the magic show about to get like nuts. Because I can't be present anymore for what's going to happen. I'd like you to try to keep thinking of that card that Kevin was kind enough to get you to pick there. And I'm going to just relax and breathe a little bit. I prepared for myself some paints. And I've got, as I said, my magic wands. A magic wand can be a paintbrush. It could be a spatula for cooking. Everybody in the world has magic wands.
Okay.
I want you to just, if you could, well, I can, it almost looks like my brain is expanding. That's creepy. Ella, if you could please, like, just using your imagination, if you could try to project that card upon my dome-like noggin. This might get a little scary. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance for alarming anybody, but I have to wait for this thing to kind of take over me. It's the spirit of art, almost this artistic. Oh, oh. Huh? Three, 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 three. Oh, oh,
Mhm.
oh, 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 I'm back.
Wow.
I'm back. I'm back.
Wow.
Wait. Let me see. Does that make any
Four
sense?
of, four of diamonds.
Really? For real?
Wow.
What?
Four of diamonds.
Oh, oh, I am so wiped out. In a good way. In a good way.
In a good way.
I feel like we made a beautiful moment of magic together. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I
amazing.
feel a little emotional.
Particularly
I mean,
like
this is not gonna
the
hang in the
red nose and
Metropolitan.
the red cheeks.
I've always been a bit of a fool.
And
I
we're both
told it-
wearing lipstick.
Awesome. I've always been looking for the exact vintage shade, like from the old movies, but you know, I think they used to put some toxic chemicals in that, in lipstick, lead. They put lead in it. I know some gothic girls who go out of their way to find 80-year-old poison lipstick. Seriously though, Ella, thank you so much. That was awesome. I could have not have done that without your strong mind sending me that image.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Bye-bye,
you,
everybody.
Well done, my friend, well done. I love your style, I love your style. I forgot to announce earlier, so I'm gonna give you guys time by doing a trick before our next performer comes up. Our next performer has asked everyone in the audience if you have a couple of playing cards that you don't mind being destroyed, please go get them now because he's going to do something with all of us. So please go do that now. And in the meantime, I will show you a quick trick with the deck of cards myself. So, let's see, who we have? Who we have? There's a lot of big juices in the audience and only one muggle. Which is fine, So, okay, let's see, let's do Bill D, how are you, my friend? How are you,
Doing
Bill?
great, Tommy. How you doing?
I'm very well. Good to see you, my friend. So, you're familiar with the deck of cards? I know because you have a whole bunch of them on the wall behind you. So, do me a favor and name a color, red or black.
Red.
Red, perfect. So we'll use red. And of red, as you know, we have hearts and we have diamonds. Which would you like to use? Hearts or diamonds?
Hearts.
Hearts. And would you like to use number cards or picture cards?
Picture cards.
Picture cards. So obviously we have Jack, Queen, or King. Which one would you like?
Jack.
Jack of Hearts.
Hearts.
Now you made all of those decisions, but would you like to change your mind?
No.
Okay, so we want to keep it to the Jack of Hearts. Now, this Jack has been in front of you the whole time and hasn't taken it out of frame. Before the show began, I did take one card and I did put it in the Jack upside down. Let me see if I can find it here. Yep, so it's right there. And again, you could have said any card. And I know you probably know how it works, but I'm just killing time for people to get a couple of cards for our next performer. But you chose the Jack of Hearts. And hey, who knows? This might be a good video for me at the end. So, of course, we have the Jack of Hearts. Thank you for your help there, Bill. And our next performer is been a member of our crew from pretty much the beginning since I took it over, and very happy to have him here again tonight. Let's give a big hand for Mr. S. Patrick.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. Very cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We'll have some fun. We'll do something kind of crazy. So I hope that everyone has a couple of cards from an old beat up deck that they don't care if it gets folded or destroyed or whatever, you know, just cards you can throw away. You're only going to need 2 cards for this little thing. I thought we'd do something interactive. We'll do something fun. We'll have some fun. And let's see, I've got my cards here. And these are actually some pretty big cards. So I'm just going to take 2 of these and we'll do something fun together. Because I actually thought about it for a while. And I was saying, you know, what is what's the one thing that's missing from this show? You know, because I've been on for a while now, and I've seen the show, and I've seen the acts, and a bunch of different magicians and stuff, and and I was like, what's the one thing that's missing from this show? And then I figured it out. Culture. So I figured I would add a little bit of hoity-toityness to the show, a little bit of artsy-fartsiness to the show.
Wow.
So I figured that I would do a poem. And I would do a poem for you guys. And if you guys can follow along with your cards right over here, I've got 2 cards, and we're going to do a poem using my 2 cards and your cards. All you have to do is listen to the poem and follow along with me. So, here we go. A magical poem as told by the bards using these little cards. Red back or blue back, as you can see, these 2 are for me, those 2 are for you, and these 2 are for me. Take the first card and fold it like this, with a crease in the middle, so sharp and so crisp. Take the next card and fold this one long. Don't do it like this one, because that would be wrong. Now, here's the part where it gets kind of weird. Don't look at me, you guys volunteered. Place this card in this one and hold them both tight. Take the inside card and push it right. Now, switch the cards. Put this one inside. Move it to the left. Move it to the right. Just let it ride. Line up the edges with the card on the left. You're doing quite well. You're really quite deft. Now for the cool part that we can't do without. Take both the cards, turn them inside out. Fold back the cards and hold them up high. Now for some magic that I will apply. You see, when I push my cards to the right, the other side's backwards, causing a fright. Mine have been hexed with a magical spell. How about yours? Not working? Oh well. A tear in the center separates the pieces. As I show you both sides, your wonder increases. Before I finish my tale and then disappear, I'll give you these pieces for your own souvenir. Thanks to you all, as I give you my regards. Sometimes all you need are 4 little cards. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. I'm going to turn it back over to Tommy now so he can continue with the rest of the show. Thank you guys so much. Have a great evening.
Oops. Thank you. That was great, Patrick. That was really good. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but okay. No worries. That was really good. I actually love stuff like that, so that was great. Our next performer is again being a member of our group for quite some time and is a very good friend as well. And he is all the way from the UK. So, if nothing else, he's British. No, no. He's a great musician, a great friend. Please help me welcome Kevin Peel.
Excuse me, guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. I am just recovering from the cold from hell, which has attacked me and laid me low for the last week or so. But I'm more or less back together, but I may cough, etc. But I'll try and mute if I do, so it doesn't attack your eardrums, which ain't nasty. Right, okay. Well, how do I follow all of that? I mean, Charles, my God. And S. Patrick, I love that presentation. Ooh, and well, everybody's so funny. And God, my brain's not working very well. So if I've missed you out, which I probably have, apologies. So let's get on with some magic. Maybe, if I can remember what I'm doing. I don't remember what day it is, where I am. Let's have some help. So firstly, is Ella still there? Can Tommy, can you bring Ella up next to me? Because I haven't seen Ella for a couple of weeks, so yay! Hi, Ella.
Hi, Kevin. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching your exploits on Facebook and
Oh, great.
love your TV thing. But
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have live1.tv. Tommy's been here.
And you have
We'll
the master
have to
Tommy
hear.
doing his bit for you, which is brilliant. Okay, Ella. So, a couple of little bits and pieces. Firstly, you've probably seen ESP cards by now. You've been watching this show for long enough to have seen ESPs a few. But these ones are slightly different. Firstly, they're nice and sort of antique-y looking. And two, far from the usual cross wavy lines, star, etc. You'll notice some of them are repeated, but they've got different colors. And there's some unusual ones as well. And what I'm going to do is actually just switch the green screen off so you can see the colors properly. Now, Ella, I think from having met you in the past, I probably know you well enough to know which of these you're going to choose. So I'm just going to go slowly through them so you can have a look. And once you've seen them all, or even while I'm going through, just grab the image in your head and decide which one you
Let me
would like.
see if I can make the screen bigger so I can see more clearly.
Okay, do you want, Tommy, do you want to just put me full screen and Ella can just be in voice? Let me just, there we go. Okay, is that better, Ella?
Okay. Yeah.
You're watching on the smaller screen, are you? Okay. Okay, so I'll just go through these slowly and you just grab one of the images in your mind that you like. I already know what it is, but I'm going to give you the chance to think you're actually selecting one.
Okay.
So which one do you like?
Just say which one it was?
Yeah, which one do you think? Which one do you want?
The wavy lines.
Which one, the blue wavy lines or the green wavy lines?
Green wavy line.
The green wavy lines. As I said, Ella, I actually knew all along that that was the one you were going to choose. But you obviously need me to prove that to you. Yep. So we've got a whole selection of cards here with blue backs. Okay. But you chose that one, and that one is The only one with the red back. So Ella, you were predestined always to choose the red back one, which was the green wavy lines. You're muted, Ella, by the way. Are we still there? Hello, Ella? We've lost you. I can see, I saw you nod your head in the little gallery. Right, okay. Try something else. Tommy, as Ella's on such a small screen, shall we try Robin as
Okay.
second for this one?
Yeah.
Because she's probably got a bigger screen.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Ella.
Thank you.
Okay, Robin.
Yes, sir.
Yay! Hi there, Robin.
Hi.
Good to see you. So is this large enough for you?
Yes,
It is indeed. Okay.
I'm lazy. Yeah.
Robin, for you, we're going to do a card trick,
Mhm.
but these are special cards. These are cards produced by Zoltar. Do you remember the movie Big with Zoltar in that? You know,
Absolutely.
who knew the future, knew everything. Well,
Yeah.
these are Zoltar's own playing cards.
Mhm.
So what I want you to do is think of a card, okay? As it says there, any card, just think of a card, not the Joker.
Okay.
So now, name your card.
King of Hearts.
He knew you would say that.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, we knew you would say that. And shall we find out if Zoltan knew exactly that you were going to choose that card?
Absolutely.
So if we take the cards out of the box
Mhm.
and just go through. So what was it? You King of Hearts.
King of Hearts. Yes.
Okay. Got to be a King of Hearts somewhere in here because that's what you chose. So, as I said, these decks is a special Zoltar deck because Zoltar has customized these with his image on the back of every card, except the card that he knew you were going to choose,
Mhm.
which is a red back one.
Ah.
So Zoltar knows.
Yay.
Finally, one final little bit. And if you want to stay around for this, Robin, that would be great.
Sure.
I love tarot.
Mhm.
So we have some tarot cards here. It's a nice selection, major and minor arcana cards.
Mhm.
There's 24 cards here, 2 of each. So there's 12 cards and a repeat of those 12 cards.
Mhm.
If I just give these a little mix and you can just tell me when to stop mixing.
Stop.
There.
Sure.
And do you want me to give them a cut?
Sure.
Okay, so if I just go down and you just say stop and we'll just cut there.
Stop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's just check. So there should be 12, 2 lots of 12 we're going to use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Done it right for a change.
Yay.
Now, Robin, what do you think the odds are after we've cut them, shuffled them, cut them wherever you want, of every card matching if I turn them over now?
Well, considering it's you, it must be 100%.
Well, no, because I would say the odds are of them matching is maybe we'll get one in the 12.
50-50. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get one. So let's have a look through. So, okay, those don't match. Those don't match. Those don't match. Let's just see how lucky we managed to be. In fact, I don't think after all that we've managed to match even one.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to get you to mix one of the piles up. Which pile do you want to use, Robin?
The one on, oh, that one, okay.
Which one? It's up to you.
The one on your left.
The one on my left.
Yes,
You're right.
correct.
Okay. And how we're going to mix this is I will either deal a card down or I will swap two cards around so that they get shuffled up. Okay.
Swap two
So you
cards.
say ahead of me whether I'm going to deal or mix.
Okay,
So first one,
mix,
mix. So mix the two round. Next one
deal.
or two.
You said deal or mix, right?
Yeah.
A deal,
Deal. Next one.
mix,
Mix. Next one.
deal,
Deal. Next one.
deal,
Deal. Next one.
mix,
Mix. Next one.
deal.
Deal. Next one. Oh, you can either deal or mix these two.
Okay, well, we're gonna mix them.
Mix those two.
Okay.
So we know that none of them matched. You've given them a mix using your intuition.
Mhm.
So let's just go through and see if you've managed to match any of them. One or two will be really good. So here we go, Robin. Well, that's good. You managed the first one.
Very good.
And the second one. And the third one. And the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Well done, Robin. You've managed to mix all of them and match them all.
We
Terrific.
make a great team.
Yeah, we do. Thanks very much. Thanks, Tommy.
Mhm.
Thank you guys. That was great, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for using something with tarot cards because that's exactly what I was gonna do.
Oh.
But now that's it, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, no, it was great. I'm going to close with a couple of interesting things, I think. Let's see. Every time I call him Pablo, I mess up. But I'm gonna call him Pablo one more time, and maybe I can get it right this time. Hello, Pablo. How are you, my friend?
Very good, very good. And you?
I'm very good. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let me change my camera view here. There we go. And I have this cute little black bag, and inside I have some tarot cards. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. So I have the Fool.
Yeah, any message to me?
Any message to you? Just no, this is all me. This is all me. So we have the high priestess. We have the emperor. We have the star.
Yep.
The lovers. These are all from the major arcana with the sun, the empress, and the moon, and the bull, and one of my favorites, the magician. Right? And I also have an envelope with and I won't say a prediction, but there's an idea in here, okay? And I'll leave that over here to the side. Now, Pablo, we can give us one of two ways. We can give us the hard way or the easy way. The hard way is to eliminate cards down to one, and the easy way is for you to just pick one and we're good to go. So
Okay.
would you like to eliminate down to one or
Yeah, let's do it the easy way.
the easy way? So
Yeah.
Do you have a short, do you have a favorite tarot
Yes, I
card?
do.
Yeah,
I do.
and which one would that be?
The Emperor.
The Emperor. It's very interesting. Now, is there any particular reason why the Emperor? What does that mean to you?
Because I always dream to be an emperor, so it's only
Interesting.
going to be a dream, so I'll pick it today.
So if you dream to be a man of power, a man of influence, um, a man who can rule over somebody with their thumb.
Not exactly,
yeah.
not exactly, but power and money is not the bad idea.
No, of course not. Of course not. Yeah. So it's very interesting because I want you to see inside the envelope. I have a piece of paper here. Oh, this is great. This has never happened to me before in my life. But inside the envelope was a sticky note and it got stuck to the inside of the envelope. But it's because I left an edge open. It does indeed say you will choose the emperor.
Very good.
Yes, thank you so much. Finally got one right. Thank you, Pablo. I would like to show you one more before we call it night. Let's see. Who do we have? Well, we have a few people here. Let's see. Robert, would you mind helping me out? Again, thank you. I know you've been called on a lot lately tonight. Do you like going to the movies? Did I do this to you last time?
Do I what?
Did I do this for you last time? The
No,
one with the movies? Okay.
No,
Okay. I got this at like a trade fair. This is a deck of movie icons. Yeah,
Cool.
It's pretty cool. Really different movies like Memento and movies from Alfred Hitchcock. But they're all different. You can see we have The Departed. We have Inglourious Bastards. One of my favorite movies, Leon, also known as the Professional. What is that? Bohemian Rhapsody. So they're all really all different. Up again, a brilliant movie. Let me see if I can shuffle this up a little bit here and give them a bit of a cut. Okay. Now, if you were here with me, I would have you take these and you can cut any way you want and then look where you cut. But since you have to sort of trust me, I'm going to I'm going to just go like this and you just say stop anywhere you
Stop.
want. Right here, and you want the one on the bottom or the one in my still
The
in
next
my
one.
hand? The one still in my hand.
Mhm.
Okay, so I will look away. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And I'll give these another mix. So there's no way I can know which one you're thinking of. All right. Okay. And I really am I really am looking this up. So we're in no particular order here, okay? Have you seen this movie before?
Yes.
You have. 'Cause I get the feeling this was, I don't want to say an old movie because that would make me, that would make both of us old, but it's a movie that was out a while ago.
Yeah, not this year, but a while ago, yes.
Yeah, a while ago.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like I'm seeing an image of somebody in the movie watching another movie. Does that make sense to you?
Huh. I don't remember that
That's
about that
okay.
movie.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I
It
think it makes.
does, yeah.
Does it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a man and he's like bound to a chair and he's being made to watch this movie. It's almost like
Oh, that's right.
it's almost
Yes.
like I think I know what this is. Um, I saw this when I was like a teenager. This was a Clockwork Orange. Yes,
Yes.
excellent, excellent.
I laugh. That was a movie that gave me nightmares for about 10
Yes,
years.
yes,
Yeah.
of course, of course. So I'd like to try something else here. I'm gonna make a prediction here. Let's see. Okay, I think. I hope this is right. This is one of my favorite movies, actually. Um, Again, let's do this a bit of a shuffle here. And I'm going to flip these over one at a time, and hopefully you'll be able to see them. But it really won't matter. You just say stop whenever you feel like you want to stop.
Stop.
Right here. Now,
Yeah.
that leaves this one here. You stopped actually on Leon. If you had done one more, you would have stopped on Psycho, which is interesting. But you stopped here. Oh wow, look at that. You stopped on Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. And what I wrote down was actually Rear Window. It's one of my favorite movies. Thank you so much for helping me out here. And
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of tonight's show. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's bring out everyone that performed tonight. First off, we had wait a minute, I'm confused here. There we go. First off, we had my good friend Lee Germain. Then we had Charles Snyder. And then we had S. Patrick. And then we had Kevin Peel. And then, of course, I failed the team. And that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and thank you for being here. I think most of you are musicians, so please hang out afterwards, and we can just hang out and chat. And if you have to go, you have to go. But yeah, thanks.